human application way for those of you who struggle with that. Love is something that we are. It doesn't mean accepting everything somebody throws at us. Some of my inspiration for this comes from a book that I'm now reading with my ladies group. My ladies group is a lot of my inspiration for today. Brene Brown, a beautiful author. If you haven't read any Brene Brown, I highly encourage you to work with her books. She addresses the psychological, emotional aspects predominantly. And she is addressing exactly this. She talks about how setting boundaries is so important. How being vulnerable to say what we need is so important. Because she says, if we're not doing that, then we're not being authentic. Mary Falvin's favorite word. If we are not setting boundaries, if we are not willing to be vulnerable to ask for what we need, we're not being authentic. And when we're not being authentic, who suffers? We do. You can feel it in your bones. You know when you're doing it. You know when you're not doing it. So some of the things that she refers to is wholehearted living. If you want to live wholehearted, it requires being vulnerable. If we want to, it requires setting boundaries. Bark over all these things. If we want to be wholehearted, we need to express our needs. Yes, of course, we need to be willing to listen to others that we're in relationship as well. But again, it starts with ourselves. We must begin with ourselves. Gracefully saying no, gracefully setting the boundaries, and still saying, and I am a loving person. I am a loving child of God. I know who I am, even if I have to set a boundary that might feel vulnerable. And she says, Brene Brown says, ultimately, with the people that you're really close to, the more vulnerable that you will allow yourself to be, the more connection you will actually build. You will build the connection by daring to speak. Oh my gosh, I can flash back to certain points of my life when I was scared to death to do that. I had a relationship prior to the one I'm in now, which is wonderful, but I had a relationship that in order for me to even express any thoughts or feelings, I had to prepare for about a week. And I had to write out all my thoughts, and I had to prepare, and I'd go through all this angst, and I finally say, I need to talk to you. And I would put it out there, and I'd do it, but oh my gosh, it was a big deal. But afterwards, the sense of relief was worth it. Luckily, that gap is closed, and I don't have to do it that way anymore, because now I know who I am. And I say it in I as a personal thing, because if any of you are struggling with that, you can do it too. I was a real basket case. I mean, we're going to go back a while. Go back 20 years ago, I was a basket case about this. So if any of you feel like, I don't know if I can do that, I can tell you, yes, you can. If I could, you can. It starts with the very first premise again, remembering who you each are. I am a child of God, period. And in order for me to be healthy, I need to love myself. And I'm going to conclude with a little bit about Valentine's Day. Some people love this day and some people hate this day. For those of you who don't have a Valentine, a significant other, a special person, I offer you this Rumi quote. Rumi is a Sufi poet. There is no love greater than love with no object. For then you yourself have become love itself. Visually, let's see it. There is no love greater than love with no object. For then you yourself have become love itself. I tie this together with Valentine's Day if you have no significant other, because a significant other is the object. I don't mean that in any kind of crass way, right? The significant other is the object. If we can just become love itself, it doesn't matter then whether we have a significant other or not. Yes, that's a wonderful thing to have and share with them. But it doesn't take away the love that we are and the love that we give. The life and love within you is God. We feel love. We do loving things. But mostly, and most importantly, is love is who you are. Let's accept that in prayer. Love is who you are. I just close my eyes again so that the outer distractions fall away. And I anchor myself and the love of His body. I anchor myself in remembering who I am, what life is. Life with a capital L is creative and joyful, peaceful, intelligent, guiding, leading. Life is a synonym for God. All of that is present everywhere all at once, so that means right here in this room, right where I am, right where we all are. Love is who we are. Love has created us. Love has become us. Love has given us life. Love is our true nature. I speak this word knowing that this week we easily subtract, wash off, if you will, the messages that tell us otherwise. We allow that to fall away so that what is revealed is the shining truth of the love of who we are. I speak my word for all of us that we stand so strong in the love that we are, that we do allow ourselves at times to be vulnerable. I speak this word knowing that we set healthy boundaries with ease and with grace. I speak this word knowing that as we interact with people this day, just this day, we interact with love. Joy leads the way, love leads the way, gratitude leads the way. For all this, I am grateful. And it's not I, Sean, who has to do anything now. I release this word to that creative spiritual law that can only say yes. It is a part of God's working, if you will. The spiritual creative law says yes. It knows what to do. I count on it, I trust, I let go, and I let that God do its thing. And so it is.